Welcome to the latest notes from the control tower, and in this edition I'll be discussing Mission 14 in the chain of combat missions for the new reward aircraft, the P-38L Lightning, and I'll also be providing an update on the resupply times for the Ordnance on that aircraft. Hello there, and many of you will be busy pursuing the chain of combat missions for the new reward aircraft, the P-38L Lightning, and there's one of the missions that's caught my eye. And it's in stage 3, wings, and it's blanked out because I've managed to complete it, so I'll read this out in case you can't. Part 4 is destroy at least 8 enemy attack aircraft in a single battle. This is a pig of a mission, and I don't remember ever having to do this one before. I may have skipped it with some of the aircraft which I've had to purchase certificates for. But trying to shoot down 8 enemy attack aircraft with aircraft that are tier 4 or higher, which means there will only be 2 attack aircraft per team, per game, is quite a tall order. And I'm going to talk you through how I did it in the hopes that it will help you do it too. So let's talk about the type of plane that might be able to do this mission. GAAs, ground attack aircraft, to give them their various names, have a high hit point pool generally. So if they've got a high hit point pool, you're probably going to need something that whittles them down quickly, and that implies heavy weaponry. The other problem may be that you'll find that the GAAs are a long way away from you, so you probably want something fast. And I think those two considerations strongly imply that you should use a heavy fighter. And furthermore, particularly if you're a newer player, you may be aware of my advice that for you, you ought to fly high and fast and generally keep the aircraft down away from the low altitudes. Well, for this particular mission, you're going to have to throw that advice into the bin because obviously GAAs are only to be found close to the ground. You're going to have to put your aircraft in harm's way, and you're going to have to get after those GAAs and accept that probably you're going to lose your aircraft once, twice, 3 times in the battle in order to achieve this mission. Well, the aircraft is one thing, but you're going to need some other things as well, such as a competitive team in your battle, one that wins or loses slowly, so that the battle lasts a long time and you have the maximum length of time in order to find those GAAs and shoot them down. You're also going to need tactical awareness of where the GAAs are likely to be. They're not always going to be in the sky, visible to you. They may very well not be on the minimap as well. You need to know where the GAAs are likely to head so you can fly to those positions on the map, find the GAAs and shoot them down. Here's the one that I didn't particularly run into, but if you're coming to this mission fairly late in the combat chain, you may very well do so. Nobody else on your team needs to be pursuing the same planes, and if they are, you're going to get very frustrated, and I can't see any way around that. Something else you're going to need is human players that don't focus you, and that implies that you want to be flying amongst less experienced players, and that implies low tier. And what's the last thing you need? You're going to need a sizable dollop of luck. Well, in my case, I was a little unlucky. My very first attempt at this mission, I managed to shoot down 7 ground attack aircraft, GAAs as I've been calling them, in a battle. I was actually in the process of killing the 8th when the battle ended. I didn't get that close again for another 2 hours when I got another 7. It took me a further hour to finally succeed and shoot down 8 in a single battle. Now, you could get lucky. You may do it at the first try or the second or the third. Bear in mind, you could get extremely unlucky, and you may take far longer than I did to do this. It's just that kind of mission. My advice to you is you need 10 certificates to complete this mission, and if you're finding that it's taking far too long, it's probably worth paying a little bit of money to clear it out of the way. So, to do this, what was my weapon of choice? Well, it's been in the background all the time. It's the Tier 4 German Heavy, the Bf110B. And what we're going to do now, I'm going to present the battle to you in which I finally achieved this mission. So we're not going to do a tactical analysis here. just get straight into it. 5 sector maps, Seagate, Battle for Port. Those of you who are experienced will know immediately that this means that we've got a tier 4 battle coming up. Let's just have a quick look at the order of battle. You can see myself, lucky me, top tier. There's a Phantom and a Bristol 146 and a BF 109B, and then there's a Sol tier 3, a Key 27. Unlucky for that player. On the enemy team, there's an experienced player, Clavius, been giving me quite a lot of trouble in previous battles. A P-36, Bristol 146, an HE 112, another Bristol 146, so they don't have any tier 3s. And off we go. Let's get rid of my name, just to give us a little bit more real estate. Straight to the airfield. Going to drop bombs. 2 reasons for that. I dropped one of them as it happens. Helps flip the sector, and also it allows me to fly a little bit faster. Having said that, I didn't succeed in dropping the second bomb very quickly. Looks like I'm lining up to do that now. Here we go. And I drop it just as we take the sector. Now, the first part here was to take a sector, because we need to stay in this battle for a good long while, and the enemy have just taken 2 sectors in very quick succession. So it's not just about hunting the GAAs, it's also about doing, when you can, what you can to extend the length of the battle. But now I am looking for the GAAs, and since the garrison has been taken, I'm pretty sure they're going to be flooding towards the middle sector, so I'm flying over this hill to the point where I think I shall probably intercept them. And I did actually see one in the distance. Thought about going for the bomber. I've got height, which is a good thing, and now I'm coming down to attack my first GAA. Now I'm sorry, this is a World of Warplanes replay file. The reticle is going to look off target. Got one down, straight on to the next one. Didn't quite finish it, so you can see that if you've got if you've chosen an aircraft with light weaponry, you're going to struggle to knock these down quickly enough. Can't just take the GAA. If I'm being threatened, I must address that threat. Now I'm coming back for the GAA again. As you can tell, I took quite a hit there, but that's my first 2. And incidentally, if you look up here, well, I can't put the mouse on without bringing up the control interface. If you look at the top line at the top left, you will see a symbol with a triangle with a 2 by it. That tells you how many I've got. That's from the My Precious mod. So, having killed those 2 GAAs, I did warn you, you're going to have to be prepared to lose your aircraft. I was set upon by the enemy, chased down and shot down. We'd lost the airfield I took, so I had no choice but to spawn back at the original spawn point. And now I'm trying to think where I might find GAAs. Spot Clavius. He's in damaged condition. I know that if I ignore him, he'll come after me, so I have to shoot him down. And at the moment, it's not looking great. We're 4 sectors to 1 down. Nevertheless, I find another GAA. And then I fly straight on. Take a little bit of a risk. GAA heavily damaged could get destroyed in the sector before I can get back to him. But I had a good attack angle on that one, so I decided to shoot him down and come back and hope that I get the next one. And I was lucky. And that's 4 GAAs. Now they're going to spawn probably separately at the 2 airfields. So now it's probably time to try and take a sector back and prolong this battle. And that's what I do. One of the human players flies past me, so I try and fly away. He gets shot down. We took an airfield, but I spot in the distance one of the GAAs again. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get to this and pinch the kill off what I think is the Phantom there. Sorry, it was the Phantom. Apologies. But my need was greater than yours. Now we've got to try and figure out, look at the minimap, figure out where the other GAAs are. We're up to 5. We've managed to turn the battle around. We're now 4 sectors to 1 up, and now I'm beginning to worry that the battle might finish too quickly if this persists. locate my next GAA. Not surprising, coming from the airfield, going to the centre, which we possess, that was an easy thing to work out. It's already damaged. I'd love to finish him off in this pass, and I worry that he's going to be shot down by something else, and he was. That's going to happen. Don't get frustrated. So, the next GAA has proceeded from the same sector and come here. And this one I get. Now we're up to 6. Again, can't just concentrate on the GAAs. Need to take your opportunities. Eliminate threats where you can. I didn't get that P-36, I think it is. So now I have to run. He can't keep up with me, so he disengages. I'm coming back to the airfield and I'm hoping to find more GAAs. That's when I notice that on the minimap there appears to be a GAA at the garrison. And there it is. So you've got to keep alert at all times. The GAAs won't come to you, you have to go to where they are. And that's why you need a fast aircraft as well as one that's got powerful weaponry. And that was my 7th GAA. Now I'm pretty badly damaged here. And in fact I get shot down by Clavius in his BF110B. But this is actually an advantage. I can now spawn closer to where I want to be and try and find a GAA. So we choose to spawn at the airfield, and here's a great big dollop of luck. A GAA spawned from the airfield just before we captured it. He's right in front of me. And that's my 8th GAA, and the mission is complete. I don't need to worry about GAAs anymore. I can concentrate on winning the battle. My team has managed to get itself 4 sectors to 1 up again. And now I can relax. So I've decided to cut that battle short there. There wasn't a great deal that happened after I got the 8th GAA. I was pursued by a couple of human players and dragged them away from sectors of importance, and we came up with a victory. So there's the results screen for you. Quite a handsome battle on top of getting the 8 GAAs. So what we're going to do now, we're going to move on to discuss the important issue of resupply times for the Ordnance on the P-38L Lightning. So I'm presuming that you've watched my previous episode of Notes from the Control Tower, where I introduced the statistics for the P-38L Lightning as we knew them then. There's a little bit of extra information that I've since learned. Thank you to Clausewitz for providing it. And it's the resupply times on the bombs and the rockets on the aircraft. And if you did watch my previous episode of Notes from the Control Tower, you'll remember that I said it was going to be critical as to how long these were in determining whether this aircraft was potentially just very good or potentially overpowered. And spoilers, the answer is it's potentially very good in the right hands, but it's probably not going to be overpowered. And here's the reason why. The resupply times are identical to the P-38J Lightning. That is 180 seconds for the bombs and 240 seconds for the rockets. And I think what this means is that although this aircraft is going to be excellent at flipping a single sector, you're going to have to be quite careful with the Ordnance if you're going to do anything at all at another sector. And if you're not careful with the Ordnance, or you have to use more than you expect, you're then faced with 3 to 4 minutes before you can flip another sector with ground attacking duties in this aircraft. And you may remember, it's not the best in terms of shooting down other aircraft because the armament is quite light. That leads me to conclude that probably this aircraft is not going to be overpowered. Probably people who are experienced will do well in it, and people who are learning the game will find it a handful, quite a challenge. And I think that's good news. And that brings me to the end of this episode of Notes from the Control Tower. I hope you found the discussion of Mission 14 of of the chain of combat missions for the P-38L Lightning helpful, and the revelation that the Ordnance resupply times are at the top end of what we could expect for that plane illuminating. Until the next time, this is the Noble Q, signing out.